It's Wade Robson time, and shit's gonna get very real. So new explosive diarrhea story right out of the shithole that is Wade Robson's mouth has turned up online. And what is this story? Well, Wade is demanding that the Michael Jackson estates admits that he was sexually assaulted by Michael Jackson. Now, what does this say to some people? It says that Wade is not out for money anymore and he just wants them to admit to it so that he can get some peace in his life. But to anybody with a working brainstem, they know that the reason for that is because he's hanging by a thread and just wants the estate to do and or say anything. And I mean literally anything. I talked earlier about how Wade is throwing anything against the wall to see what sticks. Like his father dying 15 years ago, or 12 to be specific, but yet he's blaming Michael Jackson for his father dying, even though this happened before Wade even came to the realization that he was molested. And the excuse is that, oh, his father had just some vision in his head, and his father had a hunch that he was molested, so he fucking offed himself. Not only is that incorrect, but it also doesn't even make any logical sense. But, you know, why not? Additionally, it gets so much better. So yes, we can tell based on that alone that obviously he's just throwing anything against the wall to see what sticks. And the haters are latching onto this like fucking flies on shit. Quite literally. So anyway, back on topic. Wade is trying to get them to admit that Michael Jackson sexually molested them. Now, it's funny because part of these claims claim that he was anally raped or sodomized. And I find it funny because, Wade, remember this shit?
Did he perform sexual acts on you? Did he force you to perform sexual acts on him? What was the nature of the abuse?
Yes, exactly what you said. He performed sexual acts on me and forced me to perform sexual acts on him.
Sexual acts. You know, normally when rape victims come back to terms with what happened, you'd think that a rape would be, or being anally raped would be at the forefront of your mind, because that's pretty traumatizing. I mean, like I said before, in my sexual abuse video, it is a fact that the raper, or the molester, will try and make the person feel special. Now, granted, the rapist doesn't make them feel special, but the molester does. So if you're being touched, it'll take a while to come to terms with it because you're seeing it as a good thing. But when it comes to rape, you never see that as a good thing. From day one, rape is seen as bad. It's very rare that a rape victim takes a long time to come out. Molestation victims do, but rape victims not really, because they're being grabbed at, they're being pulled at, they're being held, and they're trying to get away. You know what I mean? That's what rape is. It's you trying to get away. Now, of course, you can be raped and not try and get away, because that's obviously like, it's like consensual but not consensual rape just because of your age. Now, that's different. But for you, that would be at the forefront of your mind. If you were literally raped, that wouldn't be you that wouldn't be you feeling special. That's you, like, going against your will. Okay? So, this should be at the forefront of your mind. And probably the most painful thing out of everything that Michael Jackson did to you. So when Matt Lauer asked you that question, I'm surprised that you didn't come right out and say, oh, he anally raped me. I mean, instead of just going, sexual acts, and like the most calm, monotone, emotionless voice I've ever heard in my life. I mean, Kristen Stewart is a better actor than you. But anyway, I also want to point out, as I said in my sexual abuse FTR video, that usually when people come to terms with, or they realize what happened to them when they were children, and they're raped or molested, normally what they feel for their rapist or molester is anger, hatred, despair, and just utter disgust for that person. They want to see them suffer. They want to come to terms with what happened. They want to confront that sick individual. Wade, as a abuse victim yourself, what were some of the emotions that you felt towards Michael Jackson, or you feel now?
Heartbreak.
Heartbreak? Okay. Heartbreak? But you know, maybe there's another emotion that is more towards, hatred for Michael.
Pain.
Pain. Oh. Okay, well, let's try this again. What else do you feel when you think of Michael Jackson?
And compassion.
Compassion. Okay. Compassion. Well done, fuckhead. No real victim feels that for their abuser. Okay, let's get out of insanity. To be real, he did say the word anger, but anybody with some psychology knowledge knows that when you're giving words to describe another person, what you feel for that person most is what you'll say the most. And considering the fact that you're literally in a discussion about being molested, you think the first thing you'd say is anger, because that's what at the forefront of your mind. Yes, Michael may have been compassionate to you years ago, like you say, but again, not only did you just come to the realization of this, you're in an interview literally talking about it, and still anger is the third emotion to come into your mind. The third. Both passion and heartbreak come before your anger for him, and then finally compassion comes right after it. Yeah, this rehearsal shit, I ain't buying it. Anyway, let's move on to what this video is really about. It's about those fucking court documents. Now, I'm not going to waste my time in my life reading through all that shit, because I actually have a job and a life, so instead what I'm going to do is I'm just going to read the, summary. Alright, so let's read. What exactly are you claiming, Wade? Wade Robson asks Michael Jackson estate to admit the King of Pop anally raped him and more. Read the documents. Michael Jackson's molestation accuser, choreographer Wade Robson, has filed explosive diarrhea new court documents accusing the King of Pop of committing a wide array of sexual acts against him, including fellatio, mutual masturbation, and even anal rape. Only RadarOnline.com has the full graphic details of the disturbing development in the case, straight from the court documents. The documents filed in Robson's case against the MJJ Productions, Jackson's estate, reveal that Robson is seeking admission that between 1990 and 1997, Jackson committed several disturbing acts against Robson at his ranch in Santa Barbara County and elsewhere. Oh boy, desperation. Robson's attorney start the request innocently enough, asking Jackson's estate to admit that Jackson invited Robson and his family to stay at Jackson's ranch in February 1990. There, the documents asked the estate to admit Jackson employed an audible alarm system for his bedroom and hung "Do Not Disturb" signs on his bedroom door. Inside the bedroom, the documents asked Jackson's estate to admit sexual activities occurred between Jackson and Wade Robson periodically between the time period of approximately 1990 to 1997, when Robson was between the ages of 7 and 14. I just want to point out that I find it really stupid. I haven't heard anybody else make this point. I didn't do it in my previous video, so I'll just do it now. Michael Jackson was accused by Jordan Chandler in 1993. I don't know if you are catching on to how stupid this is, but do you really think that if Michael Jackson really was a pedophile and he was accusing Jordan Chandler and you at the same time, but then while going through the actual, what was going on with Jordan in 93 and 94, he would keep molesting Wade for another 3 years until 97 when he's just fucking managed to get away from Jordan Chandler? That would be a really dumb move. So either you guys are fucking idiots or you don't know how a pedophile works. Pedophiles are very secretive and careful. Why would Michael go, whew, I just paid off $22 million to make this go away. I'm lucky. Wade, come here. No, that's not what fucking pedophiles do. Especially if they get caught, they're gonna lay low for at least a little while. Those activities included Jackson putting his hand over Robson's clothed penis, putting his hand inside Wade Robson's underpants, taking Wade Robson's hand and putting it over Jackson's clothed penis, taking Wade Robson's hand and putting it inside Jackson's underpants, French kissing, rubbing Wade Robson's penis, having Wade Robson rub Jackson's penis, licking Wade Robson's anus while masturbating using lotion, the mutual fondling of genitals with hands and mouths, mutual fellation. Okay, you see. Wait, I'm gonna keep going. Actually, then I'll say it. Mutual fellatio, the lying on top of each other, gyrating their genitals together, showering naked together, which is already discredited on the stand. We actually know that happened already. And even penetration of Wade Robson's anus with Jackson's penis. The documents asks his estate to admit it. Wow. Okay, so what this list tells me is two things. Number one, you're lying, and here's why. Because if any of this happened, you wouldn't remember it so clearly that every single one of those events comes out in such detail. Number two, the reason that the list is so long is because you're throwing everything against the wall to see what will stick. You're trying every single conceivable possible act that can be done that can be considered molestation. No, it doesn't work that way. You expect me to buy that every single one of these acts happened. You expect me to buy that you remembered every single one of these acts in great detail. You expect me to buy that you want the estate to admit that it happened, even though it's not the estate's call to admit what actually happened, because if it was Michael Jackson and you in the room, the estate doesn't even know anyway, but you want the estate to admit it just because you say so. Every single one of these points to blatant lie. It's so easy and clear. He also showed Wade Robson explicit adult pornography in the form of magazines, books, and videos, told Robson he loved him, and called Robson son. The documents asked the estate to admit, of course. Jackson told Robson that if anyone were to ever find out about their sexual activities, both of their careers would be over, even though apparently at the time he's 7 and 14, Robson has no career. So again, it almost seems as if, that line tells me that Wade is saying this as an adult. You see what I'm saying? Because he had a career as an adult. It's almost as if he's reiterating his adult emotions, but trying to state them as if he wasn't a kid. You see what I'm saying? And it's, again, you're going to lose like that. You're lying. Oh boy, boy. Jackson's estate initially responded to the interrogatories with a request for more time, according to the court documents, with the claim that they could not possibly admit the vast majority of the allegations given, that the only person who could conceivably have knowledge of the request of subject matters have been deceased for over 5 years. That's correct. The estate can't just go, well, you know what, I have no proof that Michael did that, but yeah, sure, Wade, he did it. Wade is just trying to manipulate them and to force them into saying, yeah, he did it, so that he can go, oh, thank you, I'll take that statement now and I'll show it to the Supreme Court. No, that's what Wade is trying to do, because it's a very common liar tactic. It's manipulation and lying tactic. See, some of us are smart enough to understand what you're doing. Oh my god. Robson's attorney fired back. Just because Michael Jackson is dead does not alleviate the corporation's responsibility to respond. Actually it does. I mean, granted, they can respond, and they did if you actually read the previous paragraph, but it does not force them to respond back and answer your question, though, or admit to anything. Because you see, when people are trying to make an intelligent case, they need to gather their evidence and then respond. They don't just go, hey, listen, I said that Wade's penis was touched, so I want you to agree with me. That's literally what his lawyer is saying. This is just fucking hilarious. On July 25th, the Jackson estate filed a motion for a protective order regarding Robson's request for admission and interrogatories, asking a judge to force Robson to cut down the number of requests from the current 143 to 35. Robson, the dancer and choreographer who testified on behalf of Jackson in the singer's 2005 sex abuse trial, and 93, has claimed Jackson allegedly made his move on him when he was 7 years of age, as his sister slept in another bed just feet away at Neverland Ranch in the Santa Barbara, California. The estate is asking a Los Angeles judge to reject Robson's molestation claim against the late singer because he supposedly waited too long to file. you know, like I said before, it is true that sexual abuse victims take years to come out, so being late to me is not a problem. And I actually think that law needs to be removed, where a person cannot accuse somebody because of time, because again, it actually is common for abuse victims to take 20, 30 years to come out. So I actually think that law should be changed. But not for Wade. Why? Because he's simply lying. Am I just defending my pedo pop star Michael Jackson? No. I've actually found inconsistencies in Wade Robson's story, and if you want my fucking proof, click my link below to a video called Wade Robson Destroyed, where I go through every single factor of Wade Robson's story and prove that he's lying. And I will also prove to you that I'm not just some Michael Jackson fanatic. Click that link below. Fuck everyone who thinks that Wade Robson's telling the truth. Oh! I was going to end the video, but Mike, I have something that I want to point out that you said. Give me just one brief little moment. There's a post on Mike Parr's page that makes me feel very uncomfortable, and not because Mike's winning in any way. He's obviously been losing for the past year and a half with me. But I've been seeing posts like this often, and not just from Mike. I saw it with a hater I was arguing with online. I saw it from Real MJ Facts on Twitter. And from Mike Parr. Here's what the post says. To all the MJ fanatics, the floodgates are about to open. What Mike is saying is that he and a bunch of other MJ haters apparently have some secret evidence to finally destroy us. This is discomforting because I wonder if all of them are just bluffing, or if really all of them are working behind the scenes to manipulate and create some big ass lie and fuck up everything. You see what I'm saying? It really wouldn't surprise me if some of these MJ haters actually managed to work with real news real news reporters or journalists to create a fake story that will actually push this to become something to destroy Michael Jackson. I find that really weird because still in the works, they're about to open. What the hell does a guy behind a fucking computer know that everyone else doesn't, but they know and the journalists know? Are they working together? I find this really odd. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video.